ever boys. Uh, did those preening stallions have any idea what it was like to be normal? Because that's what being a never was. Normal as in you woke up with smelly armpits and you broke out in pimples if you ate too many fried pig's feet and you had to slave in the gloom room gym for every ounce of muscle, time that you would rather spend learning spells or catching lizards or doing something useful. But if you didn't waste half your day pumping knots, hammers, and swinging kettlebells and doing one-handed push-ups, then you'll be a skinny, owly loser for the rest of your life. And yet, in the end, it didn't matter how much work Hot did to improve himself. He still couldn't find love. At least not the love he wanted. Not Sophie. He thought about the enormous fan letters he had been getting these past few months. Dear Hot, I don't know why you chase girls who don't appreciate you. There are girls like me who have read the tale of Sophie and Agatha and think you're the real hero. At first, he thought they were from a reader in Sophie's old town, but then he had noticed that the letters were written on school parchment, which meant Sophie was wise all along. They were just a prank to embarrass him. Hot felt ashamed for getting snookered yet again. It was so obvious the letters were fakes. Who would want a Hot when there were boys and Levins running around? That's what he resented most about ever boys. Girls like them for their looks, when they'd done nothing to earn those looks. The stupid idiots were born like squattered gods out of sheer dumb luck, the way other people are born with crooked faces and clubbed legs, and instead of being thankful or humble about this luck, they acted like they deserved it. But even if Sophie was smart enough to see through these arrogant gasbacks, she still fell for them, like a mouse who couldn't tell the trap from the cheese. Why did he want her then? Why care about a girl who couldn't see he as better than those soft-headed lumps? Why idealize someone who would rather kiss the hot blonde boy with the charm of a pineapple over a thinking, feeling boy like him? Maybe I'm broken, Hot thought to himself. Maybe he was drawn to mean girls the way a girl like Agatha was drawn to good boys. Then again, Agatha was supposed to marry Tedros, a bow on the backside of humanity. Whatever. The point was that he should be free of Sophie by now. Instead, he was her employee. Hotz had no business being professor of history in the first place, since he didn't know the slightest thing about history and was pretty sure his students knew it too, but they never complained because he gave them high ranks and passed out candy every Friday. And he was also sure his students knew he was in love with Sophie, since any time she sat in on his class, they made following comments about his teaching, as if that collectively decided to be wingman in helping him earn the dean's heart. It made him like his students more than he thought possible, and he convinced himself that his crusade to marry Sophie wasn't just for him anymore, but for all evil kind. Except now, Agatha was back. Bug-eyed, skinny-legged, helmet-headed Agatha, who made Sophie smile the way he wished that he could. Agatha, who had the gall to tell him last year that Sophie would never love him. Since then, all he had wanted was to prove her wrong, to prove to himself, to his students, to whoever was sending those fake love letters, that a boy like Hotz would finally guess that girl. But now, none of it would happen, because when Agatha was around, Sophie didn't even notice him, and he always ended up running after them in some wild goose chase like he was right now. Will you two slow down? He whispered, tripping over his talker, his bare feet punished by the pebbly floor as he followed them into Evil's castle. So Merlin sends this whole thing up? That's like dog, Agatha was saying to Sophie, while Hotz grumbled to Arthur's job. First, he mentions I grin. Then he chastises me for not talking to you. He did it all, so I'll steal the ship and come here. I thought I'll be taking on this quest alone, when all the while he planned for us to do it together. But why a ship, Aggie? Sophie moaned, magically dissolving blue sludge off her and Agatha with her glowing pink finger. I despise both. They smell like toilets, the beds are stiff, there's never any fresh vegetables, and it's impossible to do yoga without falling overboard anytime there's a swell.